I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
She's gone, disappeared, no heads up, no dramatic farewell monologue, no misty-eyed goodbye. At the View's table just vanished Whoopi Goldberg has allegedly left the country, fled to be precise, right, as the $800 million defamation lawsuit from conservative firecracker Karoline Leavitt explodes into high gear. And this isn't just courtroom chaos, it's a behind-the-scenes media earthquake. ABC is scrambling, producers are wiping files. Sponsors are pulling back, PR teams are reassessing, which usually means pacing hallways and crying into conference room napkins. And Whoopi, she's out. Insiders claim she caught an international flight mere days after the court greenlit an expedited discovery process in Karoline's case. Some say she's on a break, others they're murmuring she ran. So what's the truth? Why the vanishing act? And how did this lawsuit go from zero to inferno in record time? Let's peel it back layer by chaotic layer. But first, hit that like button if you live for the drama, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the scandals mainstream media tiptoes around. Subscribe. Good, let's dig in.
You don't have anything to say. You blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Let's hit rewind. What was meant to be a routine guest segment turned into something far more explosive. Another day, another political figure walking into the lion's den known as The View. But Karoline Leavitt isn't your average guest, young, razor sharp, and unapologetically conservative in a space that rarely rolls out the welcome mat for her kind. She knew exactly where she was and didn't blink. Hair, immaculate posture, locked in eyes like steel. Karoline took her seat, offered a calm smile, and braced for the storm. From the jump, you could feel it. This wasn't going to be a discussion. It was an ambush. Joy Behar fired first. With a smug laugh, she brushed off Karoline's credentials as political baby steps. She mocked her age, wondering out loud how someone who probably still gets carded could possibly advise on serious matters. Then came Tsunami host on arms crossed, eyes cold. She dropped the term white privilege like a loaded weapon. The message Karoline hadn't earned her way, she'd been handed it. Sunny challenged her credibility, scoffed at her views, and painted her as a relic in training. And then there was Whoopi with her signature eye roll and a smirk. She leaned in, and that's when it happened, the line that would ignite a media firestorm and become Exhibit A in a legal showdown. You're not here because you earned it, you're just a token of pity politics. Laughter erupted, smirk spread across the table. The cameras zoomed in, hunting for a reaction, but Karoline didn't bite, no flinch, no sass, no memu-worthy clap back, just a quiet smile. And that look you only get from surviving rooms where no one thinks you belong. What they didn't realize, Karoline wasn't backing down. She was preparing for battle behind the scenes. As she left, there were no outbursts, no angry posts, no tell-all rant. She made one call to her legal team, and The View, they had no clue what was about to hit them.
Isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
The internet lit up like a lightning strike. Karoline Leavitt swayed The View for $800 million in landmark defamation case. The headline spread like wildfire. TikTok lit up with breakdown. Creators analyze it frame by frame. Legal analysts called it an open rebellion against mainstream media bullying. But this wasn't some run-of-the-mill defamation fling. This was a 100-page legal missile. It named Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Tsunami host, and ABC, directly accusing them of targeted character assassination, orchestrated on-air humiliation, premeditated slander, and politically motivated smear tactics. The filing was loaded with receipts. Karoline's legal squad dissected the broadcast down to fractions of a second. They tracked eye rolls, timed audience laughs, even flagged on-screen teleprompter cues. But the real fire panic came from what the cameras didn't catch: internal documents, producer notes, off-air recordings. One email read, starts off with Joy joke about her age. Let Sunny pivot to race. Whoopi goes in for the ideological takedown. Another Slack ping read, Karoline's trending hit hard, no mercy. This is the moment, scripted, staged, brutal. Legal commentators across networks shook their heads in unison. This wasn't a heated debate. This was a preloaded ambush exposed by its own blueprint. Then came the statement delivered live front and center by Karoline's attorney. This is not about silencing opinion. It's about defending dignity. No guest should be invited, just to be dismantled on cue. The media explosion was instant. ABC locked down. Their PR teams went full crisis mode. But Karoline, she was just getting warmed up.
Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
At first, Whoopi did what Whoopi always does, shrugged it off, laughed, called it political theater on air. She brushed the lawsuit aside like lint on a jacket. But behind the scenes, the foundation was already cracking. ABC insiders whispered that she started arriving late, snapping at producers, ignoring notes, skipping rehearsals. One writer put it bluntly, you could cut the tension with a knife. She was spiraling but trying to act unfazed. Then came the summons, not a soft warning, a formal court order delivered straight to ABC headquarters. Whoopi's camp tried to play it cool, saying it was routine, but she hadn't seen this coming. The court granted Karoline's motion to fast-track public interest. Was high reputational harm, was real. The judge agreed. Suddenly Whoopi's smirk faded, panic set in. Producer backstage allegedly caught her whispering, "I didn't think she'd actually do it." Reality landed hard. Karoline wasn't bluffing, and Whoopi, she was out of time. Karoline's legal team floored at the lawsuit grew teeth. This wasn't just about defamation. It was a full-on siege of ABC's internal workings, no sugar-coated transcripts. They demanded everything: full production records, internal communications, raw footage. What they found devastating: a leaked planning email had the subject line, "Karoline pokes strategy the body was." Have Sunny hit with a race comment, "Joy can jab her." Credentials: Whoopi raps with Trump, make it look organic. Another Slack message suggested let Whoopi take it home with sarcasm, trigger her roll cameras nonstop. Karoline's lawyers played unreleased footage in court. One moment stood out: Whoopi mic still live leaned in and muttered, she scripted toss her a Trump question, what's her lockup? The courtroom froze. One CNN analyst said this isn't accidental bias, it's calculated humiliation. The public flipped. Even skeptics began siding with Karoline. Neutral political figures call for internal ABC investigations. Whoopi, once the face of The View, was suddenly gone. No speech, no coffee mug toast, no farewell. ABC sent out a vague wellness break memo, but no one was convinced. Just 2 days before her scheduled deposition, Whoopi vanished. Sources inside the network told a different story. One junior producer recalled her saying, "I need air." The next morning she was gone. At first, reports suggested a wellness retreat in upstate New York, but then rumors escalated: a private jet one-way from JFK to Florence chartered by a shell company tied to a known celebrity fixer. Some say she's holed up in a villa on the Mediterranean. Others whisper private island Caribbean. Most damning, she left after the court ordered all hosts to appear under oath, and she didn't show. Legal pundits exploded: you don't flee before a deposition unless you're hiding something. Fox News didn't hold back. She ran Karoline's camp silent, just a knowing smile in court that says everything within an hour. Whereas Whoopi was trending, TikTok flooded with montages, Whoopi mocking Karoline, then courtroom sketches and jet engines. YouTubers dubbed it the View's Vanishing Act. One meme nailed it: Karoline holding court papers, Whoopi clinging to her passport. Caption: Karoline went to court, Whoopi went to Italy. This wasn't just conservative media, even progressives began raising eyebrows. Wellness or escape? ABC tried to plug the leaks, but their statement felt robotic. With support our talents' personal health journeys. The public wasn't buying it. Ratings dipped, advertisers hit pause. The View, once a pillar of daytime TV, was now the punchline. One viewer tweeted, "The show that holds others accountable can't even find its own co-host." Public opinion had shifted, and while Whoopi vanished, Karoline Leavitt was making headlines for all the right reasons. Picture the scene: bright courtroom cameras rolling. Karoline walks in, no entourage, no drama, navy blazer, tidy ponytail, a binder full of receipts. Legal analysts called her presence composed beyond her years across networks. Even critics were stunned. Fox called her calm before the media storm. MSNBC admitted, she's not performing, she's presenting. Karoline wasn't ranting, not chasing clout. She played the long game, facts over flash, control over chaos, and it worked. Hashtags like Karoline stands tall and media accountability now trended across platforms. Viral videos split screen Karoline's quiet testimony with Whoopi's courtroom meltdown. One TikTok creator said it best: Karoline showed up with her hair tied and her case tight. Whoopi brought attitude and vanished. Another video blew up: how a Gen Z conservative turned ABC into a legal battlefield. Even legacy journalists began changing their tune. Why? Because Karoline wasn't there for a viral moment. She was there to make legal history, and if the experts are right, she just might go down as the woman who dismantled a legacy talk show without ever raising her voice. Now let's talk about the slow-motion implosion of The View.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear.
Very clear.
One side is scrambling like never before. A leaked internal memo verified by multiple insiders laid it bare: we are hemorrhaging trust, viewership, and credibility. We must prepare for the possibility of cancellation. Yikes. Joy Behar reportedly livid. Insiders say she told Top Bra she feels betrayed and is ready to walk. As for Sunny host, her legal background has gone from asset to Achilles' heel. Headlines now ask, how did the lawyer on set not see this lawsuit coming? Brutal behind the curtain morale is in free fall crew members whispering corner showrunners are allegedly screened testing backup host ABC is holding daily emergency Zooms. Meanwhile, advertisers aren't just nervous, they are vanishing sponsors who once dropped millions on ad spots during the view are quietly pulling out citing reputational concerns. Some have even yanked their entire daytime budgets from ABC altogether just to avoid the fallout. And as the show crumbles like a paper tower in the rain, Karoline, she says nothing, no gloating, no press tour, no cryptic tweets, just silence and forward motion. She's watching it implode from a distance because this was never just about one conservative guest getting blindsided. This was about the media crossing a line and learning what happens when the target fights back. And Whoopi, even if she comes back, it won't change the outcome because the damage is already done. The legacy she spent decades building now, branded forever with 2 words: defamation lawsuit.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
All right, folks, now it's your turn. Do you think Whoopi really fled the country to escape the $800 million firestorm? Should ABC cut The View loose before it takes the whole network down with it? And as Karoline Leavitt just claimed the title of the most unexpected legal power haze of the decade, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm watching like a hawk. And before you head out, hit that like button, because Karoline didn't just respond, she ignited a cultural reckoning. And Whoopi, she's not sipping tea behind the desk anymore, she's in hiding while the world watches The View go up in smoke. Stay locked in this storm, it's only just begun.